Over the years in the Pokémon games, we have received many rivals. Some who have been received exceptionally well, and others who have not. And the rival today we are going to talk about is Silver. The rival from Pokémon Gold, Silver, Crystal, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver. The latter two from the Nintendo DS era, and the former three from the Game Boy Color era. So the question is Silver really that great of a rival? Well, let's delve into his backstory, shall we? His in-universe one. So he is quite possibly a Kanto-born trainer. The evidence here is that Giovanni was the Viridian City gym leader and head of Team Rocket, so you would assume his son would be born in the region he, frequented the most. But you see, Giovanni, he is and was a selfish man. He put his own ambitions and desires for Team Rocket ahead of his own family and abandoned his son. And to start off with, that is so dark. The more you think about it, the more it hurts. You don't find this out in Gold, Silver, Crystal. You only find out that he's Giovanni's son in a special Celebi event from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Although there are hints to who it is through Fire Red and Leaf Green. I believe on the Sevi Islands when you talk to a Team Rocket grunt. I believe it's a grunt. So yeah, that is already really dark when you find that out. Parental abandonment is such a horrific thing to do. And it's not like he could even be marginally justified in doing that. He wasn't a struggling single parent or anything like that. He was the head of the Pokemon version of the Yakuza or Mafia. He just didn't want to take care of his son. And already Silver was pushed into the ground as ground. Well, Giovanni's the ground trainer, but yeah, it's absolutely horrific. And that makes you feel for him more when you discover that. So anyway, when you first discover Silver, it's in New Barktown, so you do assume that he's been living in Johto for a while, or he decided to travel to Johto from Kanto. Although I do lean more to the former, because why would you go and steal the starters in New Barktown when you could steal the starters from Pallet Town? Different starters, yes, but why not? But anyway, he goes there, he kicks you hard. Oh god. And later, he successfully steals a starter Pokemon and you battle him. Again, that is really something we've not seen from any of the rivals since then. How that way they get the way he got his Pokemon, via stealing. And again, it just adds so much. He didn't have a Pokemon. He was so desperate for one, he didn't want to actually see Professor Elm or encounter to see Professor Oak to get it in the legitimate way. He was so desperate, quite possibly didn't trust anyone at all because of his abandonment issues, that he decided to steal his first ever Pokemon. And even though the police are chasing him, he has time for a battle with your player character. So that shows that he has got a bit of confidence in himself. Maybe he became self-reliant over those years he was abandoned. He felt like, yeah, you know what, I can do this myself. And you can see some traits from his father. His father, being Giovanni, thought Pokemon as only tools. And Silver thinks in the same way, so you can see how that's rubbed off on him as well. Because we've not had a rival like that, who's so harsh, so dark. And that just was, I'd say it was refreshing, but he was only the second rival. But when you go back and play it, or just check him out, it is refreshing compared to, the rivals that followed. Because compare him to Blue. This is another thing, yeah. Let's just compare him to Blue. In the first games, you were the underdog. Despite how many times you beat Blue, you were always following in his footsteps, always 5 steps behind him on the journey. And you had to keep fighting and fighting till you defeat him in the Pokemon League. And then it's so cathartic after that. But here, it's the opposite. You're the one who's ahead of Silver. You're the one Silver wants to keep up with. That's why he keeps challenging you. He doesn't say that smell you later. He doesn't underestimate you as much as he overestimates himself. Yeah, it's just, you're his goal pretty much. He wants to make his Pokemon the strongest. And he's always playing catch up with you in a way. That's why that's kind of affects him, you know. Over the battles you play, you fight against him. The one in New Bark Town, then the one in Azalea Town, in the Burnt Tower. After all that, you can see it does start affecting him, but it's kind of in a way like Hop from the Nintendo Switch games, Sword and Shield. He ended up losing too many times until he decided to change his team. And they do have a lot of, you know, they do have a lot of similarities, you know, trying to catch up with the player character, have a sort of connection to the champions of the region, suffer a devastating defeat that changes their views. It's just kind of weird. So yeah, Silver is, like I said, he's pretty much playing catch up. And then yeah, he battles Lance, he loses. He battles you, I believe it was in the underground in Goldenrod City, he loses. And it starts changing him until you battle him again in Victory Road. And that's where the complete change happens. That's the best thing about him, his character development. He doesn't stay the same throughout. No character in any medium should ever stay the same throughout. It's not good storytelling like that. I mean, there are some cases where I guess it can work, but really it should not be like that. And he changes so much. One evidence of this, when you battle him later, is his Golbat evolves into Crobat. Golbat evolves into Crobat via happiness. He is working to make his Pokemon happy now. And yeah, it's just brilliant when you see that. Because from someone who thought Pokemon as tools, and, you know, to battle harshly was to raise their power, you know, was proven wrong and changed his methods. As a matter of fact, you see him training his Pokemon in Dragon's Den, I believe, is on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And you battle him again in the Pokemon League on Mondays and Wednesdays. Which means that he is taking it more seriously now. He's not like going, yeah, I'm going to battle you and prove my power. No, he's taking his time to know his Pokemon. And I believe, I think he goes back to New Bark Town, presumably to return his Pokemon or to apologize and own up to his misdeeds. That is very big of someone to own up to their mistakes. So yeah, I think Silver's biggest, greatest whatever, is his development. Because let's go back to Blue. Blue develops quite a bit, because you do keep defeating him. And, you know, he's always saying, smell you later, blah, blah, blah. But when you defeat him at the league, he suddenly gets the picture that, yeah, I'm not the best. It's kind of like, it's a better version with Silver, really. Oh, you know what's disappointing? We never got Silver in the anime, or the main anime. We just got him in an opening from the Legend of Thunder special, and in Pokemon Generations. It would have been cool to see him in the anime. Although, I guess Paul is, from the Diamond and Pearl series, is pretty much silver. But anyway, yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you have a wonderful day or night or whatever. See ya.